Very well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All right, guys, so welcome back to another cast with trend following Tyson, and let's put June in the proper perspective. So we're halfway through the year. We've been very productive, in my opinion. Best business in the world. So we've already took a look at some analysis, and we looked at some stocks, and we looked to see what happened when the year started with some of those stocks. And half of these stocks, as soon as the year 2019 started, have immediately started setting higher highs and lows. So with that being said, stocks kicking off very bullishly starting off the year. I think it would be only correct, and it would only be smart, and it'd be the best in our best interest to be the best traders and the best trend followers to be sitting tight inside some of these places. Let's not have stocks running from 0 to 100 and we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs. Okay, so let's take a look at some stuff from one of the best trend followers, one of the more wealthier trend followers. And remember, I told you guys some of these really good trend followers and wealthy people, wealthy gentlemen like Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, George Soros, and a few others didn't start off very wealthy. I mean, the wealth is built here, so we need to be sticking with wealth practices, trading practices that are building wealth for us, hitting long-term home runs and preserving our capital. So let's take a look at Stanley Druckenmiller, make sure that we're sitting inside the right places, and then we'll sit and we'll take a look at the stock analysis. The way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. All right, so we need to be preserving capital and we need to be hitting home runs. And the only way to hit home runs in this field of trading is to basically, in my opinion, like I said, if a stock's going to go from $1 to $100, we need to be buying it at $10. We need to be selling it when it goes to 100 and starts to reverse underneath 90, so we can capture the main fraction of that move. Okay, so preserve our capital, get rid of the losers, and then after this is something from Druckenmiller. It's not just made up in my mind, something that I made up myself. The way to build long-term returns. This is a man who has built a substantial amount of wealth. All right, the way to build long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. So if we're preserving capital, that means that we're cutting losers. All right, and if we're hitting home runs, that means we are having really substantial amount of gains. All right, we're doing very well on picking the right stocks, sitting inside the right places, and letting those moves fulfill so that we can get the grand amount of what a move has to offer us, so to speak. All right, so we need to be cutting those losers and letting those winners run. All right, so let's take a look at something else. Soros is the best loss taker ever. I've ever seen. Don't care. No, I don't. That's not the quote I wanted to show you guys. Give me 1 second. All right, here it is. I've learned many things from him, George Soros, which is, if you guys don't know your trading correct, George Soros is one of the more wealthier traders. He's a billionaire, and he made a lot of money from following trends and taking a big short on the banks when the banks crumbled. I forget how long ago that was, but George Soros, another very wealthy trader that we should be listening to, getting the right knowledge and the right kind of point of view from. Okay, so and Stanley Druckenmiller trades side by side with George Soros. I've learned many things from him, George Soros, but perhaps the most significant is that it's not whether you're right or wrong that's important, but how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. So we should be making a ton of money when we're correct, and we should be losing, stopping ourselves out. We should be making those losers small, and after a long period of time, this is the way that we build our accounts, is cutting these losers and letting our winners kind of double and quadruple. Like I told you guys last week, sometimes if I take a position, it may well beyond double itself, it may triple itself, it may quadruple itself. I mean, and that is a huge return. So that's what we're talking about here, okay? Making these winners go for very long stretches for as long as what they can give us, and cutting a loser short when it shows it's a loser. All right, so that's just so that you guys understand. I mean, we can't just jump into the stocks. I mean, we could, but what is the use of it if we're not taking knowledge from people and that are in positions where we would like to be. All right, so if you want to be the best boxer in the world, you probably would want to listen to what Mike Tyson has to say or what Muhammad Ali has to say, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's jump into the trend picture. That was a loser. Speaking of losers and winners, so we rode this TEUM thing up to this move here, and the trend was up, and when it fell, this price action here, we depleted our position. So here's a loser, TEUM, and in my opinion, I really don't care about it. We're on to the other stocks that are in our portfolio, and we're letting winners do their job. Here's AU. Let's get into the trend picture now. Let's see where we should be inside of June and where we should not be. See, here's June, okay? Here's this stock, very bullish, all right? So we need to be knowing what's going on. And remember what I told you guys, that we were going to take a look at something, okay? So here's 2019. Before 2019, this stock was already becoming very bullish, and then as 2019 continued, this stock continued. It's kind of bullish. All right, so AU has a lot more room to go. This was the stock I was long on, and I enjoyed my longs here. I kind of got shooken out of this thing when we made this drop here in price, and I kind of should have stayed there, but that's okay. I have other positions working for me. So AU still a winner. Just goes to show you the stocks that were winners some time ago may still be winners months later. All right, those trends just don't go away. If a stock's going somewhere, it's going in that direction for a reason, and maybe you should be long on it. So here's AU still, man. In the last 52 weeks, this is the highest we've gotten. So very good stuff going there with that African gold. APPS, I'm long this thing, man. I just don't know what to tell you guys about this trend following process, especially the way that I'm doing it. I mean, good Lord, guys. I mean, it just can't get any better. All right, you guys remember when we were looking at this APPS thing? Remember when I don't know anyone that follows my Twitter or anything like that. Remember we were looking at this APPS to get over this. We had a thing here and said, would APPS continue and get over this price action? I mean, and what'd we do? We of course we've got through there. We've added a whole nother point and some change over this 333. All right, we're at 475 now, 472. So of course we've got through there. That just goes to show you, I mean, I'm spot on with what we're doing. When we're following trends and we're watching momentum continue, I mean, that's a perfect bet right there. So at its best, as you can see, we are trading the way we should be. Nothing anyone can tell us at this point. We're just in cruise control. ARQL, remember I told you guys I like this thing, and of course a trend is an uptrend for a reason. Although stock looked like it was breaking down, we are still very bullish, and this stock's way over what it did in the last 52. So ARQL, like I told you guys, it was on the show a week or two ago when we were back closing up May, and here it is still very bullish at the top right of that chart. So AWP, I don't know who this is. Oh no, this is supposed to be Avon products. I'm not really big on trading Avon, but I mean, a chart is this is the way I trade. To me, in my opinion, a chart's going to tell you the whole story of what a stock's doing and what a stock isn't doing. So if the chart says, you know, we're bullish here and we should probably be bullish, then that's just what it is. So here's AVP, Avon Products, very bullish at the top right, and this thing has not the first time it's been on our show, but as you see, price action very productive here, very constructive. Okay, so Avon Products, I like that thing long now with a stop below this price action at 360. Okay, AVP, Avon Products, CVRS. Let's just look around the market and see where we should be. All right, we don't want to take a look at a stock and see, okay, the stock went from $2 to $35 and we were twiddling our thumbs the whole time. So when we see a stock breaking out, making certain movements, starting to get inside that structure, then it's going to start taking back a lot of chart space. We need to get long. So here's CVRS showing very productive, and this thing's just marching right along. I'd hate for this thing to double and quadruple itself in price, and then we're just sitting around looking at each other. Okay, so CVRS, I like to take along here. Stop yourself out below 2. Prices should be holding up this area here, 250, 245 and 250. Okay, CVRS looking very constructive. We'll take a look at a few more stocks. I've got CZZ, ENPH. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on, so we need to step back. Pardon me. We need to step back, take a look at the market, see which stocks are going places and which stocks aren't going anywhere. All right, and the stocks that are going places, we need to damn well be making sure that we're sitting there. All right, so here's CVV, CZZ, very constructive price action, kind of doubled itself, breaking out of this area here at 904, starting to kind of, all right, price is starting to pick up. This thing's very bullish. Don't miss these kind of big moves. I like that thing long now with a stop below 13. No, here it is, 1275. So tighten your stop up on that. Let that thing kind of go to work. CZZ. ELP, we'll look at ELP, ENPH. It's ELP, I think it's like a Brazilian, some like Brazilian gas, something like that. All right, but anyways, we're, like I said, we're looking at what a chart's doing. So my computer's running rather slow. This is very odd. All right, here's ELP. Excuse me. ELP, very constructive. Man, if you missing a move like this, when you see it, when you see a stock making this kind of move, I mean, this is where we got long on TNDM. When you see a stock making this first gesture here is when you should be getting long. All right, so don't let a stock start making a run, and it's just running all day without you, and I don't know what you're doing. You should be getting long when you noticing price action getting very constructive. So here, if you would have got long here at the breakout of these prices near 750, all right, and we're at 12 something now, okay? So don't question price, just follow price. People get on my nerves, especially a lot of guys that are on Twitter and some of these other social media places. They like to question price. I don't question price. If price is very bullish and the chart is showing that we're very bullish, then that's just what we are. We're very bullish, and a lot of times I'll be sitting right inside of these moves as they go from 7 to 27. All right, so ENPH, one of the better looking stocks. I got long on this thing. I've been trading this thing back when it was at $2.50. I knew how good looking of a stock this was. All right, if anyone would like to go back and check some of the first casts when we started showing ENPH, it was a while ago, and it was about a $3, $4 stock. Okay, now look at, we're at $17. Do you know the significance behind buying a stock at $3 or $4 and it turning out to be 17 something? All right, that just goes to show that you're in the mode that you should be. You're looking for the correct things in the market. You don't need, after you can kind of figure out that far in the markets and you can get that perspective and understand, you don't need any, the questions and the games are over. Okay, now you're just at the point to where you're at, man, what I would like to say, kind of like letting your knowledge catch up to, letting your trading account catch up to everything that you know, kind of to show and prove itself. All right, because you can know a million things about this trading world, but if your trading account and if you're not in this business in the long term, then that kind of has no significance. All right, so EVRI, we'll look at one or two more stocks and then we'll close up. EVRI, I mean, it's decent. I mean, you guys already know what I tell you guys about looking at these charts. So here's 2019, and what I say, a clear reversal in price, here. It just looks identical, just swapped on the other side. All right, so this isn't confusing. All right, so 2019, the stock showing you that it's very bullish. Like I said, if a stock's going to show you it's very bullish to start out the year, don't question price. Just follow price and buy it. All right. So here's this thing, EVRI, just in beast mode. All right. Just in beast mode. Don't let this thing double itself again in price, and then you'd still be twiddling your thumbs. All right. So let's take this thing long now and put a stop out. Tighten our stop out below 11. Give it some room to wiggle. Okay. EVRI. Let's look at TNDM because I'm long this thing. I don't know what's going to happen here. But I made a post on Twitter with some other traders, older traders, more significant kind of that have been trading longer than me, whatever the case. But I made a post that says, you know, when you're trying to capture a major move in a market, and I mean, we caught a major move on this TNDM. You know the significance behind buying a stock at $7, $6, and it turning out to be a $70 stock? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Well, we did that right here on the show. But anyways, you can't have a very large position size when you're trying to let a stock run and do its thing, because every time this thing wiggles and moves around, you're going to want to buy and sell your shares. So it's better to have not a very large position, so you can kind of let this thing wiggle. TNDM, very bullish. All right, now I'm in no rush here for this thing to start, for this thing to continue this whole move here. All right, it's just plain obvious, all right, that we're in a clear uptrend. So why would I question price? Why would I argue with this stock instead of just letting it do its thing, which is trading to the upside? I mean, this is the business we're in, the best business in the world, like I said. All right, so we should be trading to what? Fire our bosses, to be our own bosses, so we can be made men and women. Okay, so let's trade like it. It's not let these stocks run from 0 to 100 and we're twiddling our thumbs. If a stock's gonna run from 0 to 100, we should be buying it at 10. We're like, wait a second, this stock went from 0 to 10, and like, and the structure just obviously shows. All right, so don't question price. When you see a stock going from 0 to 100, when you see a stock going from 0 to 10, you buy it. All right, and then you let it trade to 100. All right, have some patience. Okay. We're transferring money from the wealthy to the impatient, from the impatient to the patient. All right, those are from the poor people to the wealthy people. TLRA, very bullish structure here. I don't like this kind of little strange looking thing, but like I said, if a stock is bullish, it's bullish. You can't do anything about that. You just need to let that stock do what it's gonna do. All right. That's the only thing you can do. You have to trade with price. You have to put your hands inside the ocean and feel that wave and see where we're going. All right. You have to trade with this thing, guys. All right. So let's trade like that. All right. So last stock here, we'll look at ZYNGA. This is out of this video game graphics, very, very bullish, very constructive here. And this is just a no-brainer, okay? We don't question price. When a chart starts looking like this, we don't question it. We just get long as soon as we notice this, all right? If we've been twiddling our thumbs for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months and a stock was doing this and you had no idea, that's your own damn fault. All right, you need to be stepping back, taking a look at the market, seeing where you should be sitting tight at. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. We're stepping back. We're taking a look at the market. We're evaluating the market, seeing what stocks are going places and what stocks aren't going anywhere. We open the show with the stock that's going no damn where. All right, and then we're showing you a stock now that's headed somewhere. So when we notice a stock that's going somewhere, we need to get long and sit tight, because these things are going to double and triple themselves in price, and we need to be doubling, tripling our accounts. Right? All right. So ZYNGA, we'll close up the week with VER. All right, and then I'll see you guys back here next weekend. All right. So trade safe, trade your ass off, follow these trends. Man, don't let a big move get away. That's like the only thing that really hurts me in trading is if I'm looking, if I see a stock that went from 0 to 100 and I don't know where the hell I was at the whole time. You know, it's just ridiculous. I can't call myself a trader or a good trend follower if I'm doing those things. Here's this thing just going in beast mode. I think it was very obvious that we were in a very bullish structure here, and I would have bought that. So, all right, I'll see you guys next week. You know, trade the process. Keep letting these stocks go from, you know, wherever they're going to go. Let them go there, man. Don't have a super large position size in any one stock. All right. So we're trading to be made men and women. Let's fire our bosses. Let's get to the next level in life. All right. So trade like that. See you guys next week. Trade safe and keep following these major moves. Don't let these moves run from 0 to 100 and you're twiddling your thumbs. Okay. See you next week.